Have you been thinking about making a move to the Aldergrove community in Langley BC? Or maybe you're just interested in learning a little bit more about it. Well, the good news for you is that you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to give you a complete overview of Aldergrove. What's going on, guys? My name's Alex Dunbar and I'm a local realtor right here in Langley BC. And if this is your first time on my channel, I make weekly real estate videos pertaining to the BC and Canadian real estate market, as well as showcase community tours across the Lower Mainland. So if that's something you're interested in seeing more of, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. This is yet another episode in my series showcasing communities across Langley BC. So after you're done watching this one, you should definitely go over to my channel and check out some of my other ones. And recently, I've been having tons of people just like yourself who are looking to move to the Langley area reach out to me by call, text, email, or Zoom call, and I absolutely love talking to you. So if after watching this video, you want to discuss your unique situation, you can find all my contact info down below. And if you are enjoying these community tour videos, all I ask is that you hit that thumbs up button so the algorithm will push it out to more individuals just like yourself so they can learn more about Langley. And as soon as you do that, we'll get the video started. I know you haven't clicked the like button yet, so just do me a favor. Yep, okay, perfect, here we go. So first I'm going to start with the general overview. Aldergrove is a small urban rural community within the township of Langley. It's home to close to 16,000 residents with a mix of residential, business, and agricultural land. People who live there describe it as a community with a friendly, small town feel that keeps multiple generations choosing to live in the community. Aldergrove offers a relaxed atmosphere with access to parks and trails, sports fields, and cycling routes. Over the last 5 to 10 years, there have been large funding contributions made from all levels of government, which has been done to attract new businesses, development, and thousands of new residents over the next 2 decades. In regards to its location, Aldergrove is located within the township of Langley at the westernmost point of the municipality prior to entering Abbotsford. It's bordered by Otter District to the southwest, Salmon River to the northwest, and the Aberdeen community of Abbotsford to the east. Aldergrove is easily accessible from the Trans-Canada Highway and the Linden US border crossing, making it an ideal location for businesses to flourish. Next, I'd like to go over the driving time to some of the other major cities and landmarks. So it's going to take you about 20 to 25 minutes to get to the Costco in Langley, 20 minutes to get to Willowbrook Mall, 10 to 15 minutes to get to the High Street Shopping Centre, 55 to 60 minutes to get downtown Vancouver, 35 to 40 minutes to get to Burnaby, 30 minutes to get to Surrey City Centre and the SkyTrain, 15 minutes to get to Abbotsford, 35 minutes to get to Chilliwack, 15 minutes to get to the hospital, 60 minutes to get to the Vancouver Airport, 10 minutes to get to the US border, and 55 minutes to get to the Tsawwassen Ferries. Moving on to housing, Aldergrove is made up of primarily single-family detached homes, but also a handful of condos and townhomes. You'll also be able to find a few mobile home parks in the area as well. Most of the homes were built in the late 1970s and early 1980s, with some newer detached homes in East Aldergrove built in the last decade. The lots are generally serviced with water, hydro, and sewer, and most have gas, except for the houses in the community's rural areas. Recently, there's been some new condo and townhouse construction near the downtown core along Fraser Highway, with more scheduled for the future. Due to the location, the home prices in Aldergrove tend to be about 15 to 30% less than comparable homes in Langley. Moving on to home prices, when we look at the benchmark prices versus those in Langley, we can see that detached homes are at $1.207 million in comparison to Langley, which is $1.556 million, making it 22.4% cheaper. Townhomes are $612,000 versus $872,000, which is 29.8% cheaper, and condos are $500,000 versus $600,000, which is 16.7% cheaper. Moving on to the rental market, prices are slightly lower than the rest of Langley. There are generally more rentals to choose from in Aldergrove compared to some other neighborhoods in Langley. Something to keep in mind is that if you don't own a car and you'd like a space that has more walkability, I would suggest looking for a rental situated closer to downtown. Many detached homes have basement suites, and several of them have more than one rental suite. As many of the condo and townhome buildings are older and some have age restrictions, so this does limit the inventory. However, most rentals that you do find are pet friendly, and parking generally isn't an issue as there's plenty of street parking. Moving on to the rental prices, you can find a 1-bed condo for about $1,500 a month, 2-bed condo for around $2,000 a month, 2-bed basement suite for around $1,600 a month, and a 3-bed townhome for around $2,700 per month. Again, showing that rental prices in Aldergrove are cheaper than that of the rest of Langley. Moving on, let's take a look at the parks and outdoor areas. As for parks in the area, There's not as many as the outskirts of the Langley Township, but Aldergrove does have plenty of smaller parks and walking trails. The highlight here would definitely be the Aldergrove Regional Park. As far as golf courses go, unfortunately, there aren't any in Aldergrove itself, but there are a few courses nearby that I'd like to mention. First of all is Poppy Estates Golf Course, which is just east of Aldergrove, and second is the Raptors Knoll Disc Golf Park, which isn't necessarily golf, however, it's just south of Aldergrove. And this is the best disc golf course in all of Langley, and if you've never played, you should give it a try. Next, let's move on to the schools. There are 5 schools in the area consisting of 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, 1 secondary school, and 1 private school. These are made up of Parkside Centennial Elementary, Shortreed Community Elementary, Gilbert Middle School, Aldergrove Community Secondary, and Aldergrove Christian Academy. The elementary schools run from grades K to 5, the middle school from grades 6 to 8, the secondary school from grades 9 to 12, and the private school all the way from K to 12. As far as daycares, there are a reasonable number of daycares in Aldergrove, so you should be able to find one. However, if needed, there are some in other parts of Langley not too far away, or alternatively, you can drive about 15 to 20 minutes into Abbotsford. Moving on, let's take a look at some of the amenities. So as for the amenities in the area, some of the key tourism attractions in the community include the following. We've got the Aldergrove Credit Union Community Center. This is a newly built state-of-the-art facility that includes an indoor pool, a hot tub, a walking track, a great gym, and a youth drop-in center. It provides year-round leisure and recreation activities for people of all ages. But the real highlight here is the 500-seat indoor NHL-sized ice, which is home to the junior hockey team, the Aldergrove Kodiak. Outdoors, the facility features leisure and competitive pools, along with the Otter Co-op outdoor experience, which is the next thing we're going to touch on. Here you'll find multiple pools, water park, 3 water slides, a river channel, outdoor movie screen, aqua play structure, picnic area, and a splash pad. Everything you need to stay fit, keep the kids happy, and it's especially great in the summertime. Moving on, we have the Twilight Drive-In Movie Theater. This is the only remaining drive-in movie theater in the entire Lower Mainland. This makes for a great evening out to enjoy a double film, if you can manage to stay awake for both, that is. Personally, I can't do it. Next, we have the Greater Vancouver Zoo. The zoo is dedicated to education and conservation. Greater Vancouver Zoo is home to many rescued, donated, and orphaned animals. The 120-acre zoo is home to over 140 different species, including giraffes, lions, and tigers. Next, let's take a look at the grocery stores. You've got your go-to staples with Save On Foods and Freshco Aldergrove, as well as a BC liquor store. However, if you're looking to make a larger trip to Costco, it's going to be a little ways out of the way. Next, let's move on to the stores that Aldergrove has to offer. As for shopping in the area, you won't find any big box stores, but Aldergrove does have everything you need from local independent businesses. Downtown Aldergrove features numerous small businesses operating along Fraser Highway. Aside from that, your best bet is to head over to one of the nearby malls. You've got High Street Mall in Abbotsford, or alternatively, Willowbrook Shopping Centre in Langley City, both less than 20 minutes away. Moving on, let's take a look at the restaurants. There are a ton of great restaurants in Aldergrove, but for the sake of time, here are a few of my favorites. We've got Bob's Bar and Grill. This is the spot to go for delicious meals with generous portion sizes. Enjoy a variety of delicious food and friendly staff, combined with a warm country-style ambiance. They've also got live music on Thursday and Saturday nights. Next, we've got the Brick Alley Bistro, another Aldergrove staple that you have to try. With so many options, if you can't decide, just order the daily special and you won't be disappointed. Next, we've got the Fox and Hounds Pub, a classic pub serving your go-to pub food and drink. It's definitely the local watering hole. They've also got music bingo on Fridays and karaoke on Saturdays. Moving on, let's take a look at some of the entertainment it has to offer. Aldergrove is home to some major tourism attractions, festivals, events, and a variety of outdoor recreational activities. Some of the festivals in the area include the Aldergrove Fair Days, Langley Good Times Cruisin', Artesian Market, the Polar Bear Plunge, and the Christmas Light Up Parade. Next, let's move on to your health and fitness. In regards to fitness facilities, there's a good variety to choose from, whether you're looking for a local rec center or a niche studio. Your go-to is definitely going to be the Aldergrove Credit Union Community Center. However, there's other locations such as Apocalypse Fitness, Ninja Fitness, and Oxygen Yoga, all of which should be able to fit exactly what you're looking for. Next, let's take a look at the healthcare options. Langley Memorial is the closest hospital. However, there are also a few medical clinics, but there's not a ton in the area. As far as police go, there is an Aldergrove Community Policing Office right on Fraser Highway. Additionally, there's also a fire hall just on the edge of the community. As far as dentists, there are a few in town, however, there's not a ton. Moving on, let's take a look at the community's walkability. Depending where you are in Aldergrove, it can be considered a walker's paradise. If we were to plop you directly downtown, you get a walk score of 80. So essentially, the closer you live to Fraser Highway, the better accessibility and walkability you'll have. And this means that most errands can be accomplished on foot if you're in the area. However, if you live further out on the outskirts, this isn't necessarily the case and you'll definitely need a car. Additionally, I would suggest you have a car either way, just because of the fact that Aldergrove is still quite far away from some of the other major cities. Moving on, Aldergrove has a bike score of 76. So overall, the community is considered quite bikeable. The area is quite flat and there are bike lanes on almost all the busier roads, and any back roads are wide enough for you to ride on. Next, let's move on to transit. Aldergrove is only a 5-minute drive to both the Trans-Canada Highway and to the border. And overall, Aldergrove gets a transit score of 29. There are lots of bus routes that run through Aldergrove, especially closer to Fraser Highway. However, if you live further from that, you're definitely going to have fewer transit options. Most of the public transit runs along Fraser Highway, and so do the small businesses, including grocery stores. The further you are away from Fraser Highway, the more likely it is you'll need a vehicle, as already mentioned. In regards to taxis and Ubers, there are generally a good amount available, so you never have to wait too long. As far as rapid transit goes, there's no rapid transit in Aldergrove, but as previously mentioned, you're only about 30 minutes away from the closest SkyTrain stop. And a pro tip here is that if you drive a little further east from the highway in Aldergrove, this is where you'll find the cheapest gas in all of Langley. Next, who is Aldergrove best for? First, it's families. Aldergrove is excellent for families just starting out. It's also pet friendly if you got fur babies. There's lots of parks and a couple off-leash dog parks in the area, and a lot of businesses will let you in with your pup. Next is young families. Without a doubt, Aldergrove is the most affordable area in all of Langley, and many young families are flocking there for its affordability. There are lots of activities for the kids, including parks, a bowling alley, drive-in movie theater, a new swimming facility, and even a zoo. If you have young children and want a backyard, Aldergrove can be a great place to set down your roots. Next, we've got investors. Many people purchase a 2-level detached home, fix it up, and then split it up into an upstairs rental unit and downstairs rental unit. You can also get some great deals for the condos and townhomes in the area, whose costs will eventually increase into the future. A big reason being is that the township is spending $40 million to transform the downtown core in the hopes of attracting thousands of new residents over the next 2 decades. Moving on, let's recap some of the highlights of the area. First, it's going to be the affordability. Home prices in Aldergrove tend to be 15 to 30% less compared to the rest of Langley. If you enjoy a little extra space, a little extra cash in your pocket, and don't mind putting in a little elbow grease, there are many good options for you. Next is it's a good investment. With an influx of families and new development, prices are sure to increase over time. You also have a great variety of housing options with competitive real estate. There's a vibrant commercial and retail core in close proximity to medium density residential areas, all of which are just some of the reasons why Aldergrove is a great investment. Next is its small town vibe. Aldergrove is perfect for someone searching for a cozy small town feel that isn't far from a larger city's fun. Aldergrove boasts a close sense of community that you might find missing in other parts of Langley, and it's easy to get to know your neighbors. But don't worry, as much as this feels like a small country town, they do have a Starbucks if you're afraid that you'd miss that PSL. And lastly, before I end this video, I just want to cover a few things that you might not like. First, Aldergrove has higher rates of crime and homelessness than the majority of the rest of the Langley Township. It's shown to have 26% more crime than the rest of Langley on the Area Vibes website. However, the bulk of this occurs in certain pockets of the downtown core along Fraser Highway. The residential areas with single-family homes further from downtown are about as safe as anywhere else in Langley, so it's not all bad. Next is the proximity to work. Unless you love driving, the commute is one of the more negative aspects of living in Aldergrove. It is a little further out, and Fraser Highway can be a little slow during rush hour if you don't time it right. You can expect a 15 to 20 minute drive to any major malls or shops. And lastly, walkability is also a bit tough, so you'll want to have your own vehicle unless you live right downtown. And that's about going to do it for my video today. So if you did get any sort of value whatsoever, all I ask is that you hit that thumbs up button. And if you are interested in seeing more videos just like this one, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. And before you go, be sure to head over to my channel to check out one of my other Langley community tours. And lastly, if you are considering making a move to Aldergrove or anywhere else in Langley or Surrey for that matter, you can scroll down to book a call with me to discuss your options at your own convenience. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.